Hey, what's up guys? Episode 8 of Day in the Life that we're doing for Gurupresario Media. If you've been keeping up, you're noticing that we're doing a lot of things in San Antonio, making a lot of moves, meeting with a lot of different people. Today, we're actually meeting with my good friend Stefan. Stefan, for the past couple of months, has been really moving to get young voters out. Today, we're actually meeting with him to catch up, get some information one day before Election Day, right? Here to talk about the importance of getting out to the ballot box, putting your vote in, and moving forward. So follow us along. We're gonna order some food, new location again, Camp Outpost. What's up, brother?
Good to see you,
Good
man.
to see you, man. How are you?
Good, how about you?
Good.
Have you dinner before yet?
No, man. First time. Haven't even seen the menu, honestly. Heard a lot of good things. I've had a couple of friends that have gone out here already.
Yeah, we've done dinner at her once. The wife's been out here with some friends before, so.
What'd you guys get whenever you came to dinner here?
The Brussels sprouts are awesome.
I like those rotisseries that they got flipping in there. I'm thinking if I could get maybe a plate with a rotisserie in it.
And then I think the paloma, they have a paloma here that's supposed to be really good too.
They got those on tap, right? That's what Dan was telling us.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that he has, so all those cocktails are actually on tap.
Yeah, I didn't
I've never
see
heard of that concept before.
Right, you can never go wrong with a margarita on a Friday.
Right.
I actually think I'm gonna get a chicken Caesar salad. Hey, how you doing today?
Yes, sir.
Can I get one Caesar salad, chicken Caesar salad?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna try the rotisserie organic
Yes, sir.
half chicken.
All right.
So everyone who's viewing this right now is one day away of going to the poll. So give me the highlight, man. Past couple of months, you've been working actively to register young voters, Latino voters here in the San Antonio community.
Yeah, so me and a couple of other friends that I met throughout the way worked to get some people registered to vote, you know, whether new or need to update their registration. We went to Southbound Coffee, way on the south side, did that, and man, got about 35 registers there. Looking back on it, what I'd like to try to work on next time is be more active on the south side.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of young Latinos and Latinas out there that showed up on that. Almost last day that I did a pop-up was at Southbound Coffee.
These are people that probably would never have stepped into where does someone usually go get registered to vote in San Antonio?
I mean, if somebody's not coming to you, you typically have to either mail it in or go into the elections office over here off Frio Street. People want to vote,
right.
They just don't know how.
Right.
You know, and we as a county don't do a good enough job to educate the community,
right,
of what it takes to get registered to vote. Ultimately, it came down to this: we're always going to be a democracy in this country, right? We're always going to have a president, whether we like it or not. So why not have a say in who that president is at the end of the day? I mean, it's your greatest right is to vote in this country. But you saw the two focuses between the two counties on how they get people registered to vote and how they get the word out there. And Travis County is just super active within the community.
Why do you think that Travis County, what separates Travis County from like the other counties in Texas? Is it just that they're, it's Austin?
I think
it's Austin, isn't it?
I think it's Austin. I think that's part of it, right? You know, Austin's always just been kind of a liberal, liberal city, right? Just got more people moving in from California, right? So that helps out too. But I think it starts from the top down in terms of the elections office. I mean, there's a reason why Move Texas filed a lawsuit towards our elections office because they just make things difficult. They disenfranchise people to want to get people registered.
So wait,
to
tell
vote.
me about this. Move Texas is who?
Move Texas is a nonprofit association that has been, the goal is to try to get more people registered to vote in the state of Texas throughout the state, not just any certain county or any certain city. When you ask why is Travis County different than Barrett County in terms of getting people registered to vote, why is Harris County different than Barrett County? And I don't know the details all into it. I do know it has to do with the fact of disenfranchising DVRs and making that process hard for them to get re-deputized again as well. So,
one day before Election Day, again, let's reemphasize the importance of this movement, right? I know you have some notes. Walk us through this. What outlines do we have? What are we looking at?
The most important thing to understand is that Tuesday, November 3rd is Election Day. It is the last day you have to vote. Polls open at 7 a.m., close at 7 p.m. If you are in line before 7 p.m., they have to allow you to vote. So even if you're in line and you don't get into that,
if you're not in the building, say the line's out the door, you still have
that right to vote. They have to let you vote. Over 300 polling locations will be open throughout Bexar County. So there's going to be locations all over the city. Now in 2020, this election, you can vote at any polling location in Bexar County. If you looked at the stats, Texas, in 2020, we've already had more voters in Texas than we did have in all of 2016 election.
Wow.
Early election and election day. Perfect, man.
Awesome.
All right, the chicken.
Perfect. Thank you.
Then we got the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah,
Nice.
appreciate it. Thank you
Anything
so
else
much.
You guys need?
Nope,
I think we're
silverware,
good
we
right
got
now,
it. You need anything?
Y'all enjoy.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Traditionally, Texas has always voted Republican, hence red. It's always been that way. I mean, and if you look in 2016, I think Hillary lost to Trump at that time by 9 points.
Right.
And then in 2018, Beto lost to Cruz by 2.5 points. And now here we are in 2020. And based off the polling, it's ranged anywhere from Trump being up by 4 points to Biden being up by 1 point, all within the margin of error. If Texas pulls that rabbit out of the hat
Right.
and turns blue, we will get results in between 8 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time from Texas.
Election night.
Election night. And that's why there's so much urgency for me to get people to vote in Texas, because we have the second most electoral votes in the country available on election night. When you listen to any political pundits, they will tell you Texas is gonna turn blue, but they will tell you Texas is gonna turn blue in 2024, maybe 2028.
Right.
Fuck, why not do 2020?
Right.
Why not do it now? Why not be part of something now? And I think the ones who I encourage to get out and vote now, the ones who I'm talking to now for November 3rd are the young voters. Get up and go vote, man. Be part of
Right.
history. 300 polling locations. It could not be any easier and painless to get out and go 5 minutes to go and vote.
Let's try to enjoy this food. What did you get again? You got
I got
chicken
the Caesar
Caesar?
chicken salad.
Played it safe today. I did something a little bit different.
I wanted the burger, but I feel like if I get the burger, then I'm definitely not gonna be eating dinner tonight.
This is definitely a hefty meal, so it's gonna be good. I meet a lot of people that think Biden is not for, I guess, law-abiding citizens. Okay, that's the narrative that the White House is pushing. What exactly is he saying by that? I mean,
It's not a matter of, Biden is not here to abolish the police department. We're
no
trying
matter
to,
how much the White House tries to push that narrative.
Yes, yeah, I mean, that's all they push that narrative, that and the tax, which is another issue we'll talk about. But it's more or less about making sure we have the right people handling the right distress calls, being put in the right positions. So Biden's plan is to tax people who make more than $400,000 in salary and income. And I think people get up in arms, right? Like, oh my God, he wants to tax everybody. Okay, 1.9% of taxpayers in this country make over $400,000. Out there, 98.1% out there that doesn't make $400,000.
But this doesn't affect at all.
It doesn't affect at all. I mean, so, people start saying how Biden wants to tax everybody. No, that's not true. I mean, we got to sit back and look and really understand what that is and who he does want to tax. I mean, then again, that's why I like talking to the young, voters.
Right.
Because these things don't affect them as much. Right now, what I hear from a lot of the young voters is that they're just ready for a change. I think we as a country and we as a state, we would go the direction that they go. They're showing up in massive numbers right now. They're motivated. They don't think like their parents. They don't think of politics the way their parents do, right? Parents think, oh, I've always been a Republican, I could never vote Democrat.
Right.
Young voters just think of them as independents.
Right.
That's the bottom line. I think some of the young voters saw what happens when you sit out an election. The Latinas are the ones who are going to take care of this, are going to fix this for us. They're the ones who understand what's going on.
Right.
So I think there's a group of voters out there that make me feel confident about this election. These young kids, they want to vote. They want to be a part of this democracy.
Right.
But we got to do a better job of getting them involved to be a part of this democracy. I had another cousin, her brother, who I tried to get registered to vote. I got him registered to vote. I don't think he's gonna vote. And his comments to me were like, well, didn't we vote and didn't the person that everybody wanted to win in 2016 lose, but she got the most votes? She did get the most votes, but she did lose. So explaining to them the electoral college process, sucks. Because
Pretty overwhelming for someone that's just learning about this too.
Yes. And it's dumb. It should be the first thing. If Biden wins, it should be the first thing the Democrats try to do is get rid of the electoral college.
I agree.
It's got to go. It's got to go to the popular vote. We cannot continue to go by this electoral college process. Every state is allotted so many electoral votes, and typically it's based off. A lot of it comes back on how you vote, how you fill out your census reports that nobody ever wants to fill out. You get so many electoral colleges as a state. Whatever party wins the most votes gets those allotted electoral college votes. If we get enough people to vote Biden, that's 38 electoral votes that go to Biden, and Trump gets nothing.
Right.
I also believe, and this is another reason why, why I'm trying to encourage people to get out to vote this last day of voting, is we don't want the election to come down to the Supreme Court. This election should be about the people, right? It should be about you, me, and everybody here that votes.
So how do we avoid getting out of that situation where Supreme Court is going to be the ultimate decision maker?
We avoid states like Pennsylvania that have to count votes after election. You gotta win by a landslide.
And you do that by getting as many voters in Texas to go.
To get Texas blue. We are 4 days out from Election Day, and Kamala Harris is in Fort Worth, Texas, Houston, Texas, and McAllen, Texas.
Right.
There's a reason for
the
that.
importance.
She's important. Trump didn't come to Texas. Trump didn't come. And comments have been made from Rick Perry to Ted Cruz to some of these other guys is that they feel confident that Texas is not going to turn blue. If we turn it, it's over, and we don't have to let it go to the Supreme Court. If you look back at 2000 and Bush Gore, that went to the Supreme Court because of Florida. Then they had to recount the vote, and the Supreme Court came and said, we're done counting votes. I listened to a podcast the other day that came on that talked about it, and man, now that you look back and listen to it, it's like, holy shit, what a circus.
Right.
But that's where we could be this election. You need to get out there and vote. You need to show up on Tuesday, cast your vote. If you have family members who are thinking or debating about voting, you need to get encouraged them to vote. You need to talk to your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles who watch Facebook all the time and help them understand what they are voting for. You need to have conversations with friends. You need to text them to get out and vote. 300 polling locations open. One day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. There's no reason for you not to vote.
If you could finish us off, one true message, what do people need to understand? We have 24 hours till Election Day.
Yeah, I think the one message that I have is that what happens on Tuesday, November 3rd is gonna be an indication of what is in store for this country for not just the next 4 years, but for a long time. Are we gonna be on the right side of this election? Are we gonna be on the wrong side? There's a lot of people nervous out there, there's a lot of people scared out there, there's a lot of people unsure. But the one thing that we can be confident about is that we have a right to vote, and you have a right to vote. Get out there and vote. Make your voice heard and do the unthinkable and flip the state, put it to rest. And the nightmare is done and we move on. We get rid of divisiveness. Bottom line, get out and vote.
I want to thank Stefan for coming out, putting out the important message of voting, young voters, the Latino vote, something that we definitely need to see happening more here in the state of Texas. That's it for the episode today. Hope everyone has a great week. This is getting published Monday, 24 hours before Election Day.